Have you ever wondered about the big secrets hiding in the skies? Let's talk about Jupiter, the giant of our solar neighborhood. You've probably heard its name and seen its pictures, but did you know there's a whole world of fascinating facts that often go unnoticed? So here are 10 mind-boggling things about Jupiter that will forever change your concept of this star. So let's get started. Number 10. Jupiter doesn't have a solid ground like Earth. You see, Jupiter isn't your run-of-the-mill planet with a solid surface like Earth's, and if you ever drop a penny from its lofty cloud tops, you wouldn't hear that familiar clink as it hits the ground. Why? Well, Jupiter is like a big gas giant, composed mostly of hydrogen that's hanging out at temperatures way beyond what we call the critical point. This point is where things get super wacky, defying the usual rules of solid, liquid, and gas states. If you could somehow go inside Jupiter, it would be like diving into a stormy ocean of hydrogen gas. You would pass through layers of clouds made of ammonia, then sulfide, and even water. As you go deeper, the gas around you would match your weight, making you feel like you're floating. If you could go even deeper, you'd enter a thick layer of hydrogen that acts like a metal. In this layer, electrons and protons move on their own. The deeper you go, the hotter it gets, reaching temperatures as high as 20,000 kelvins, 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 9. You can see Jupiter with your own eyes. Jupiter, the third brightest object in our solar system after Venus and the Moon, often goes unnoticed in the night sky. Universe Today helps you pinpoint the best times to spot this majestic planet. If you see a bright star high up, chances are it's Jupiter. Grab binoculars for a better view, or even a telescope if you can. With just a little magnification, you might catch a glimpse of its Galilean moons. Imagine experiencing what Galileo did in 1610. Number 8. Sprites and elves in Jupiter's clouds. Amazing and brief events known as sprites and elves have been spotted by NASA's Juno spacecraft amidst the turbulent clouds of Jupiter. This marks the first time these phenomena have been seen on another planet. Sprites, short for stratospheric mesospheric perturbations resulting from intense thunderstorm electrification, and elves, emission of light and very low-frequency perturbations due to electromagnetic pulse sources, are both types of momentary bright occurrences, also called transient luminous events, TLEs. These peculiar happenings, lasting only milliseconds, are occasionally visible above thunderstorms. Sprites typically feature a circular, slightly bloated center from which tendrils of light extend upwards or downwards. They materialize when lightning bolts carry a positive charge from clouds to the ground, leaving the cloud negatively charged. This, in turn, activates the atmosphere above the storm, resulting in a sprite. On the other hand, elves resemble expanding donuts or rings. They emerge around 62 miles, 100 kilometers, above the ground, with diameters that can stretch up to 300 miles, 480 kilometers. Electromagnetic pulses released during a thunderstorm collide with the ionosphere to create elves. Number 7. The Great Red Spot. The Great Red Spot, a storm larger than Earth and capable of dismantling smaller storms drawn into its grasp, stands out as one of Jupiter's most distinctive features. This counterclockwise moving storm, identified as an anticyclone, boasts incredible wind speeds reaching up to 300 miles, 480 kilometers per hour. With a width of 10,159 miles, 16,350 kilometers, as of April 3, 2017, Jupiter's Great Red Spot is 1.3 times wider than Earth. Despite its fame, much remains a mystery about the Great Red Spot. The exact origins, the factors contributing to its striking red hue, and the reasons for its exceptional longevity compared to other observed storms in Jupiter's atmosphere are still largely unknown. Nonetheless, astronomers speculate that its consistent position in latitude, located approximately 22 degrees south of Jupiter's equator, may be linked to the well-defined cloud bands within Jupiter's atmosphere. An obscured image of Jupiter showcases a pair of vibrant curved rings, one in captivating blue and the other in striking red, extending outward from the planet's form. Voyager 1's exploration revealed the presence of faint, dusty rings encircling Jupiter during its flyby. This Voyager 2 snapshot captures the rings in a portrait as the probe ventured into the planet's shadow. The gracefully curved rings display an orange-red hue, while Jupiter's boundary exhibits a spectrum of colors due to the extended exposure through two specific filters. Number 6. A failed star. Astronomers sometimes label Jupiter as a failed star, but this description isn't entirely fitting. While it's true that Jupiter shares characteristics with stars, such as being rich in hydrogen and helium, its mass is far from sufficient to ignite the fusion process within its core. In stars, Energy is produced through the fusion of hydrogen atoms, which creates helium along with light and heat, thanks to intense heat and pressure. This extraordinary phenomenon is enabled by the immense gravitational forces within stars. To transform into a star through nuclear fusion, Jupiter would need a mass more than 70 times its current weight. If numerous Jupiters were to collide, there might be a chance of birthing a new star. However, for now, and the foreseeable future, Jupiter remains a colossal gas giant, unable to fulfill its dream of becoming a star. Number 5. Jupiter has 95 moons. Jupiter boasts 95 confirmed moons as of March 23, 2023, not counting potential irregular ones. The four largest Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, known as the Galilean moons, were the first to orbit a body beyond Earth and the Sun. Smaller moons, named after mythological figures, have been found since 1892. 8 have regular orbits, while others are irregular. The Galilean moons make up most of Jupiter's moon mass. Sizes range from Ganymede, larger than Mercury, to moons under 5 km wide. Orbital shapes and directions vary. Jupiter's regular moons likely formed from a circumplanetary disk, with some spiraling in due to drag. Irregular moons possibly came from captured asteroids, breaking apart during capture or collisions. Number 4. Jupiter's subtle rings. Unveiled in 1979 during the flybys of Jupiter by the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft, the King of Planets possesses a delicate ring system that may be faint, but is undeniably present. Jupiter's faint, dusty rings were initially discovered by Voyager 1 as it ventured past the planet. Later, Voyager 2 captured a portrait of these rings after the probe slipped into Jupiter's shadow. The array of colors adorning Jupiter's edge results from an extended exposure through 2 distinct filters. The ring formed from dust reaches an impressive distance of about 80,000 miles, 129,000 kilometers, from the center of Jupiter. Number 3. A giant among planets. Jupiter holds the title of being the heftiest planet within our solar system, tipping the scales at over twice the combined mass of all the other planets. For context, the Sun's mass outstrips Jupiter by around 1,048 times. In simpler terms, Jupiter's mass accounts for less than 0.1% of the Sun's mass. Despite its considerable size, Jupiter lacks the necessary mass to initiate nuclear fusion and transform into a star. Number 2. The fastest spinner. Despite its massive size, Jupiter is quite the speedster. Its rotational velocity clocks in at a remarkable 12.6 km per second, tilde 7, 45 meter per second, or 45,300 km per hour, 28,148 miles per hour, allowing the planet to complete a full rotation on its axis in just about 10 hours. This rapid spinning has caused the planet to slightly flatten at its poles and bulge at its equator. In effect, points situated along Jupiter's equator are more than 4,600 kilometers farther from the center compared to the poles. In simpler terms, the polar radius of the planet measures around 66,854 tes, 10 km, equivalent to 10.517 times that of Earth's, while its diameter at the equator spans 71,492 kex 4 km, around 11.209 times that of Earth. This swift rotation also contributes to the creation of Jupiter's robust magnetic fields and plays a role in generating the hazardous radiation enveloping the planet. Number 1. Jupiter's visitor count. Jupiter has had the honor of hosting visits from spacecraft on 7 separate occasions. The very first was NASA's Pioneer 10 spacecraft, which journeyed to Jupiter in December 1973, followed closely by Pioneer 11 in December 1974. The Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft conducted flybys in 1979. After a considerable gap, the Ulysses spacecraft arrived in February 1992, and the Galileo space probe followed suit in 1995. In the year 2000, the Cassini spacecraft swung by on its way to Saturn, while NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made its flyby in 2007. Although this marked the last mission to traverse Jupiter, it most certainly won't be the final one. So have you got any favorite facts about Jupiter? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear them. With that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.